What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Cameron, back at it again with another video. And in today's video, guys, we are revisiting Call of Duty World War II and going over the things they got right and the things they got wrong. And with that all being said, let's jump up into the video. The first thing I want to talk about is the headquarters. This was kind of like one of the biggest changes they added into this game. It's a lot like Destiny's thing that they have going on. I don't play Destiny, so I don't know. I just know that it has that, and it was actually pretty cool. I actually like the headquarters, especially after the overhaul. I think before the overhaul was kind of annoying, and a lot of people didn't like it because you have to go to the headquarters before you could play multiplayer. So it just took way too long to get into a game, and that was kind of annoying, especially if you're in a time crunch. Like if you just wanted to play like a game or two before you had to go somewhere, and then you just have to sit in this goddamn headquarters and matchmake and load screen. Like, that was annoying. But after the overhaul, they made it pretty streamlined, so you can just find a lobby from the multiplayer menu. You don't have to go into the headquarters. You can just go into it optionally, which I like. And in the headquarters, you can do a bunch of cool things. You can challenge people to a shootout, which is a lot of fun, where you guys shoot at targets and see who wins, gets the most points in a loaded time period. You can upload paint jobs. You can download paint jobs for your gun, which is really, really cool. They have theater mode again, which is awesome, from like old school Call of Duty. If you guys played that, I wish they add theater mode back. If theater mode is in Modern Warfare, let me know, because I don't really know. You can upload your emblems, which are super cool. I always like the customizing emblems. I think that was a lot of fun, the way you be creative and things like that. You can 1v1, which is pretty dope. As you can see here, I'm bodying these kids. They don't even got a chance against me because I'm the GOAT, the undefeated champ. You can test out the score streaks, which is cool, but like kind of pointless. I think they could have done something else with that. Like, why the fuck do you want to test out like whack-ass score streaks? We'll talk about that when we get into the actual multiplayer section of this video. But it was cool, man. I actually really liked it. You could get your contracts, which give you supply drops now, or armory credits, or XP, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. You could do daily orders, which do the same thing as contracts, but they don't really have a time period on it. Contracts, you have like 40 minutes, 50 minutes, 30 minutes, etc., etc. You can prestige your divisions, which we're going to talk about divisions in the multiplayer segment as well. You can prestige your character, so which is pretty cool. And you can open supply drops, which we're going to talk about right now. The supply drop system actually got overhauled. You can actually grind out supply drops. I always think actually you could, but I think the odds in the supply drops are much, much better than what they were before, because I'm getting guns and cool shit that I want all the time now, and if this game was still in season, you wouldn't be getting all this shit, obviously, because they want you to buy supply drops. But yeah, you can grind out supply drops with contracts, daily orders, and weekly orders, which is fine, I guess, because you actually have the opportunity to get supply drops without paying actual money for them. That's better than what the original system was in most Call of Duties, but still, I think it's inferior to Black Ops 4 system of, hey, you get 50 crates, turn it in, you get one of these overpowered fucking weapons in the DLC, which I think is much, much better than, hey man, you grinded for 2 hours for 10 supply drops, here you go, man, here's a bunch of emotes and jack shit for that. So I still think that's whack, because you're not getting what you want. Sure, you can use the armory credits to buy the collections, which is fine, but a lot of that stuff costs a lot of money, and it's an egregious amount of armory credits. I think it's like 20,000 armory credits and stuff like that. Like, that's a lot, and you still have to grind those out too, so it's not really worth it. I still think it's an inferior system to what Black Ops 4 and obviously to what Modern Warfare has. It's better than, Black Ops 3 and everything like that. And if you guys want to see me revisit more Call of Duties, let me know in the comment section below. But supply drops suck, man. They just ruin games, and I absolutely despise them. Guys, let's get down to the meat and potatoes of this video. We're talking about multiplayer. First thing we're going to cover is the create a class system and how they pretty much got rid of the original perk system that are in all Call of Duties and replaced it with the division and basic training system. The division system gives you 4 perks that are specific to each division, and the basic training gives you another perk, unless you run Commando, and that gives you 2 basic trainings. I am kind of indifferent about this change. A lot of people don't like it because they thought it was kind of boring, but after the overhaul, I think it got much better because it let you have more of a sandbox element when creating your classes, but it's still probably the worst customization in the series. The division system, while a cool idea, I just think it's kind of boring. Honestly, it's kind of boring. It kind of puts your playstyle in a box if you use a specific division. It doesn't really let you, create crazy combinations and stuff, because 4 of your perks are already selected, which is dumb. And that is kind of whatever. The division system, while overhated, it's kind of meh. And the basic training pretty much allows you to add a perk from another division in the division you're using. For example, Mountain has Dead Silence, but if I want to reload quicker, I can put Hustle on. And the basic training is what most people dislike because they're like, wow, I want to run these perks, I want to run that on this, like make these combinations with that. And that's a valid complaint because you only get 1 basic training. So, for example, in Mountain, which I'm going to keep using as the example, you have Dead Silence already in the Mountain division and Ghost. But then you can, okay, I want to add Sleight of Hand, so Hustle. But then you can't add anything else. So that kind of sucks. And, it's whatever. I think all the divisions have a place. I don't think there's one that's insanely overpowered. I do think that Mountain and Commando are definitely the best. Because Commando, you have 6 perks, which is fucking insane. You get 2 basic trainings, and you get 4 perks from the division, which is insane. And you get plus 25 points for every double kill or multi-kill you get, and for every headshot you get, so you can just streak up super quick. And Mountain, you have Dead Silence and Ghost, which is always awesome. And then I do like Infantry because you can strafe shoot, and you move insanely quick when you're strafing side to side, and you get 4 attachments for your primary weapon, which is pretty fucking sick. But now we're going to talk about the attachments, now that I brought that up. The attachments in this game are definitely the weakest part of the customization. The divisions, honestly, I'm indifferent about it. They're kind of whatever to me. I've learned to live with them. But the attachments definitely suck. I find myself running the same attachments on almost every single class. Extended mags, rapid fire, quick draw, and grip are pretty much the best attachments in the game. That's really all you need. If you're not running infantry, then just use quick draw, grip, and extended mags. That's all you need. That is all you fucking need, honestly. The attachments suck, and not every gun can have a silencer on it. Not every gun can have a bayonet on it. Not every gun can have certain attachments, which is kind of dumb. I hate that not every gun can have a silencer on it. That's just kind of annoying because then you're always going to be getting chased off, like red dot chased everywhere, and that just sucks. Honestly, the gun customization sucks. I get it because beforehand they had division-specific attachments before the overhaul, and that was really bad. I think this is why people hate the division system the most, because prior to the overhaul, it was shit. You had division-specific attachments and perks. For example, if you wanted a suppressor on an SMG, you had to use airborne, which was really dumb. So now at least I can run a suppressor on an SMG in any division, but still I would like to run a suppressor on any gun. I think that's fine. That was just a bad decision. I think the gun customization definitely sucks the hardest in this game. I think the customization in Cod Ww2 and the creative class system is definitely near the bottom or the middle of the pack. It kind of doesn't really stand out, because you can easily create a class in 3 or 4 seconds. Pick your division, pick your gun, pick your attachments, that's it. The attachments don't really have that many thought to it. If you compare it to Modern Warfare system, which I think is the best, it just sucks. Because Modern Warfare, you're like, wow, this does that, I'm going to pick my perks. Even in Black Ops 4, you're like, oh, I'm going to add the wild cards to pick my perks, I'm going to use these attachments and these 10 slots to use this. Like, it's much more in-depth. This create a class system is not very sandbox, and I think most people hate it because of how streamlined it is. And that's a valid complaint. The streamlined aspect of this is kind of what kills it for a lot of people, and kind of what brings it down a lot for me. They take away a lot of the sandbox of the customization that Call of Duty is known for. Alright guys, now we're going to talk about the actual multiplayer gameplay. First things first, let's talk about the time to kill. The time to kill in this game is actually really solid. I enjoy it more than Call of Duty Black Ops 4 and Modern Warfare. It's a great median, honestly. Like, you can have enough time to react, and you get melted quick too, depending on the scenario, which I think is perfect. If you get shot at, you have enough time to go around the corner, or drop shot, or jump shot, or react to it. In Modern Warfare, you just die way too fast, and in Black Ops 4, the 150 health is way too much. If Cold War has this kind of time to kill, I think it's a little bit higher than this, but if it's around here, honestly, I think that's perfect. I think this game is a great time to kill. It's awesome. Honestly, the time to kill is honestly 10 out of 10. It is perfect. And the maps in this game are all 3-lane. They're not really big maps. I think the biggest maps are like Gustav Cannon and USS Texas and things like that. Other than that, the maps are all medium or small, which I enjoy. I think these maps are far superior to the Modern Warfare map design. Like, these maps legit are like Modern Warfare 2 maps compared to Modern Warfare's maps, honestly. I think this game has pretty okay maps. I think Black Ops 4 and Treyarch's 3-lane map design is superior. Does Cold War rack up? Miami is not better than the maps in this game, but I think the Satellite and Moscow I think Moscow is pretty much on tier with these, but Satellite's obviously better. But I actually do enjoy these maps. I think the 3-lane map design is better. It's more fast-paced. You can run and gun. There is certain spots that you can camp in, but a lot of the maps do lack a crucial power position. I think like the restaurant or whatever in the Saint Marie Dumont is like the one power position I could think of. But other than that, there's not really power positions. It's pretty easy to just run and gun in this game. It's very similar to Black Ops 4, with the 3-lane map design. But, I think the issue is there's just way too many 3-lane maps. I think that like a little bit of like spice in the mix would have been better off. But these maps are pretty solid. Ardennes Forest being one of my favorites. Flak Tower and Chancellery are definitely my least favorites. Those are terrible maps, but I do enjoy Pointe du Hoc and Ardennes Forest quite a bit. The DLC maps are meh, but they're decent, honestly. I give the maps like a solid 7 out of 10. They're playable, but I feel like there's not really a standout map. There's not a Nuketown. There's not a jungle. There's not a Rust, or there's not a High Rise. There's not really one of those standout maps. They're average maps. They're playable. They're not frustrating, but there really is a lack of a standout map for sure in this game. As you can see, the matchmaking, there is 4 main playlists of just one game mode. You have your TDM, Dom, War, and Free-for-all, and the rest are Mosh Pit game modes in your Ground War. The Mosh Pit game modes I actually play the most because I enjoy Kill Confirmed and Hardpoint in this game a lot. I like Hardpoint because it's easy to streak up, and I'm going to talk about streaks in a little bit, but I'll enjoy Hardpoint because it's fast-paced, no camping, things like that. So I think that's awesome. The objective-based game modes are definitely my favorite in this game. But yeah, those playlists are not really populated though, unfortunately. Especially the Hardpoint, Domination, and Kill Confirmed playlist. You're gonna get into a lot of like 2v2, 3v3 lobbies. They're not really populated at all. But with the Domination and the regular playlist, it's populated. It's easy to find a match. The new game mode added in this game was War. War I don't like at all. I think it's a shitty version of Operations. There's no sandbox element to that game at all, and it just sucks, honestly. I don't like War because of how linear it is. Ugh, I'm repeating myself. But I hate how linear it is, honestly. It just sucks, man. Like, they could have done something so much more with it. They could have made it similar to Ground War or Operations in Battlefield 1, which they subsequently ripped off. So, that was a colossal failure. I think they could have done something more with that game mode. But it is what it is. I think if they're gonna add another game mode like that, they should just stick with Ground War, which they're doing in Cold War, which I think is a step in the right direction. I dislike the healing time. I think the healing time takes a little bit too long. There's a lot of times where I'm one shot and somebody spawns there and kills me. I think stims are a step in the right direction as well, and they definitely need that. Spawns in this game, kind of shit. I think Black Ops 4 has better spawns than this game. So many times I get revenge spawned, or somebody spawns right next to me and just shoots me. It's pretty bad. It's not as bad as Modern Warfare spawns, but it's still kind of annoying. But it is what it is. All in all, though, I think the multiplayer experience is pretty solid. I actually really had a great time playing Call of Duty World War II this week, so I can prepare for this video. But I loved it. I really did. I think the multiplayer was around a 7.58. I had a great time playing it, but I do think last week when I was playing Black Ops 4, and if you guys want a video on Black Ops 4, I'll drop that tomorrow with this video. So let me know in the comment section below. I do think it's a step down from Black Ops 4. I think Black Ops 4, in popular opinion, has the best multiplayer on this gen. So yeah, with that all being said, let's get into the zombies. Alright guys, zombies is definitely the weakest offering in this game. I don't like the zombies at all. One, it's far too easy. You have these specialist abilities that recharge in like maybe a round, and you're just using it constantly. And they're all OP. The specialist abilities are way too overpowered. I don't think specialists belong in zombies at all, because it just makes the gameplay too easy. I think specialists and multiplayer make the game too easy, let alone in zombies. In zombies, the game is so easy with these specialists, and this is the easiest zombies in the entire franchise. It is legitimately a joke. My camouflage ability, which makes me invisible for like 30 seconds, like charges up once a round, and I'm just using it, spamming it all the time, and whenever I'm in a dodgy situation, and it's a joke. Like Black Ops 4, at least you didn't get the specialist ability like every fucking round, but the specialist stuff still made Black Ops 4 zombies insanely easy. And honestly, you don't even need to pack-a-punch in this game till like round 25, because there's a perk that increases your weapon damage, which is also cheese. That just makes the game entirely easy. You pay 2,000 points. It's the best perk in the zombies, by the way. You pay 2,000 points, and you do like a shit ton of damage with your regular bullet weapons. So you don't even need to really pack-a-punch. Honestly, like you play it around 25, you get bored out of them by the me. And on the topic of pack-a-punch is so hard to get in some of these maps. I believe in this map, the Shadow Throne, you either have to build the Wonder Gun, or you have to find it in the box, which is bullshit. I don't want my pack-a-punching based on RNG. I think that's retarded. That was a really, really bad decision. I don't even know how to get pack-a-punch on the Frozen Dawn. I don't know what the fuck's going on in that map. That map is just honestly like weird as fuck. I don't even know what's going on. The Shadow Throne is just Gorod Krovi Walmart edition. Like, it's shit. The Darkest Shore and the Final Reich are definitely the two best non-survival maps. I think the Final Reich is actually a fun and a solid map all around. I love the vibe of it. I think the vibe of the Final Reich is creepy. It's cool. I like when you're doing the Pack-a-Punch quest to like it goes dark. Like, it's pretty freaky, bro. I think that part is sick. I actually had a great time playing that map in particular, and I did play that map when the game was out at the time, and I actually enjoyed it. And the Darkest Shore, that's another actually pretty decent map. I think a lot of people hated on that map. I think this game just kind of lost its salt with zombies, because the last two maps are just kind of boring, and they just kind of suck. You would think the last map would be the coolest, because it's like, isn't it like some like fucking like Asgard type shit, but like at the same time it's kind of whack. Just like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know how to get Pack-a-Punch. It just seems hella complicated and tedious. Not a fan of those last two maps. But the first two maps, it's pretty easy to get Pack-a-Punch, especially with like the notebook. The notebook was a pretty cool addition. It tells you how to do everything, and that was easy. Honestly, the first two maps are pretty simple. They're creepy, and ultimately I like the vibe of them. But the difficulty factor just ruined the game for me. It was just way too easy, and it just got boring by round 15, round 16. Because I already had Pack-a-Punch. I was pretty much invincible, you know. And the perk selection is pretty much your average perks, you know. They did do a great change with the armor. I think the armor system is pretty solid, you know, like it's whatever. It pretty much works as Jug. You spawn with 3 plates, and if the zombies bring your health all the way down, you lose a plate each time. I think that's way better than the 200 health system, but I would prefer it if you started with no plates, because they don't give you like that, oh shit, I need to get Jug kind of feeling. So yeah, I think in Cold War, I think it would be a good idea to let Jug not take up a perk slot. Like, you can just get Jug, but then you can get 4 perks. I think maybe that's fine, but I don't know, that could make you overpowered at the same time. I actually think the armor system is pretty decent, and it's a little bit better than the Black Ops 4 system. I think that's fine. And then you have these loadouts too, which also overcomplicate things. I think zombies should just be honestly a bare bones, not bare bones, like there should be depth to it, but it should be very similar to World at War and Black Ops 1 zombies, because especially if it's your first time doing it, because those are simple enough where it can immerse you into it. You're like, wow, this is fun, it's simple, I can fucking get all my shit and be chilling. But at the same time, it also kind of is difficult too. So I think those are the best kind of zombie experiences, at least for me. And the characters, they suck. I don't really care about them. You know, everyone's shitted on them enough in the community. But yeah, I think zombies was an average experience. I would give it like a 5, maybe even worse than that, like a 4 out of 10. Definitely the worst in the franchise for sure. And that gives me to my concluding thoughts. Let's get into that. Now guys, I think Cod Ww2 is a very average, middle of the pack Call of Duty. I think it did certain things right and did certain things colossally wrong. Like the zombies was trash. They could have done so much more with that, especially coming off a pretty dope map in the Final Reich. The multiplayer, while having some highlights, definitely has some big lowlights. The score streaks are trash. The maps, while decent, are very, very uneventful. I think they could have added more into this game, that being a World War II game. I think they did get the amount of weapons right, but I think the amount of factions, they kind of fell flat on their face with. I think they could have added more World War II stuff. I think a colossal sin of most World War II games is they just don't expand upon the entire subject material. Like, you have so much to work with in World War II. Like, it's the biggest conflict in human fucking history. You have so much to work with there, especially if you're making like a war game. You have a lot of content there. I thought Battlefield 5 would be the one to deliver on that since World at War, but they didn't, and that was a shame. And this game for sure did it. They just included Germany and America. Like, bro, they could have included Russia, they could have included Japan, they could have included all this other stuff in it to make the game more interesting, because there's so many just D-Day games, you know. A lot of people just get bored of that. A lot of people get bored, like the Saving Private Ryan-esque story. So I think if they did something else, added the Western Front and Russia and Japan, I think it would have been much, much better. I think they missed out on that. But the gameplay is pretty solid. I can't really hate on it, but, you know, with the things that are holding it back, I really can't give it higher than a 7 out of 10. Honestly, maybe a 6.8, because the zombies is really bad, and the supply drop system and stuff like that. Definitely, I'm going to bring it down actually now to a 6.8 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think about Call of Duty World War II in the comment section below. And if you guys want to see more revisiting videos in the future. That all being said, this is your boy Cameron. Thank you all for watching. I am out.